I'm sorry to say, but success doesn't care if you are tired. You can be wanting to do certain things in life, but if you are not able to take the action, regardless of what's going on in the exterior, then you are not going to be able to succeed. It's just simple as that, because so many of us want to be doing something, and yet we are tired. We have certain relationships going on, the economy, the government, our families, certain people, our fifth grade teacher, whatever it might be holding us back from taking certain action. But if you are going to constantly blame everybody else and blame your situation and blame everything that's happening, then you are not going to be able to achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve. So many people get so stuck because they are just constantly saying certain handicaps that they have, and they're labeling themselves wrong, and it is wrong to do that. In this video, we're going to break down 5 different points and things that you can start to do. And the reason why I'm talking about this video is because I was recently working on one of my goals. And one of my goals, I started waking up pretty early in the morning in the forest. We'll talk about that like that. And I started working on one of my specific goals. And there was one morning in particular that I was exhausted. I was so tired, and I was starting to do it, and I was plowing through it, and everything that I was doing, it just took up so much energy for me. And I was just done. And I had to prepare a little bit more. I had to do other things because I had to just get myself in the right zone. And I realized that the time that I allocated wasn't going to be enough time that specific day, and I have to come back in order to finish the task that I was doing. And it was very frustrating. On the one hand, I was proud of myself that I did X, Y, and Z, but on the other hand, I knew I needed to really get this stuff done. And I kept saying, you know what, I'll push it off till later in the day when I have more energy. Maybe I'll take a nap, I'll have some coffee, and then I'll be able to do the thing that I want to be doing. But what was interesting is that I was really just tricking myself. I knew that it was probably going to delay it and push it off another day, and I'll try to find time another day to be able to make it up. And when I realized that I am just procrastinating, I knew that I had to take action quickly. And that's my first tip. When we are going through one of those days where we are going to be not feeling it, where we're just out of it, instead of saying we're going to do it later, look to take action now. And even if it's not the full action, look to do something, because for so many of us, we want to be able to do certain things, and it's not going to be the perfect scenario. So for example, if there was a time where, one time I wanted to go running, and I usually have like a 20 to 30 minute slot, and I only had 10 minutes in this slot. And I said to myself, I'm not going to go running. And I started to not get my stuff together. And I'm like, wait a second, if I go running for 10 minutes or no minutes, 10 minutes is a lot better. So let me just go put on myself and go on a quick run. And I changed that and I shifted that because I realized, you know what? If I want to do something, then I'm going to have to put myself out there. And even if it's not an ideal situation, better to do something than nothing. So when you were looking to succeed at the goal that you want and you're just not feeling it, look to do something. You're tired, it's nighttime, whatever it might be, look to try to take some type of action, because that action is going to breed more action, which is going to breed more action. The second thing we need to understand is we need to know it is our emotion that is really controlling us at that point. You see, throughout our days, we are constantly moving on this emotional roller coaster. And sometimes we're really inspired and motivated, and sometimes we are the least and we're just exhausted and just want to sleep all day. But what we have to realize that if we want to hit certain tasks in our life, we're going to not allow the emotional response to be able to control us, but the logical response, that I'm going to have to take certain actions. And yes, we should try to set ourselves up perfectly in the best way we can. In certain days, it might just not happen. But if we can start to tell ourselves, hey, you know what? This is more emotional. Don't let me get eaten up by this. Because so many times we allow the emotions to come in, and it doesn't just affect us that one time, it starts to affect us the next time. I know for me personally, when I need to wake up early in the morning and the night before I'm already starting to debate myself whether I should or shouldn't do it, I know I'm toast. We have to ask ourselves, what is going on? What are the rules we are setting for ourselves? What are the guidelines that we need to be living by? And once we can start to live by that, then we have the ability to start to see that success and make sure that we're not cheating and cutting any corners. The next idea we need to understand when it comes to these days and we're not feeling it is that it's very normal. You see, sometimes we want to be so productive and we want to see that feeling that we have every single day, but that one day comes and we're just we're out of it. So don't beat yourself up, because that's a very normal thing, and everybody's going to feel out of it sometimes. What we have to try to do is to say, hey, during those times, what am I going to do about it? And it was one of those things that I was so proud of, that when I was doing this thing in the morning and I was not in the mood and I was doing it and I started to take action immediately, I realized that this is going to be the time where I'm going to build the story. When we look back at the project that I'm working on and I see how massive it was, and see, hey, you know what is it that really did it for me? It was that day. It was those specific days where I wasn't feeling it and I still took the action. Because those days you don't take the action can just start to really pile onto one another, and it can really just throw you off in terms of the goals that you're setting for yourself. So understanding that it's normal and it's the thing we're supposed to be doing can start to shift so much when it comes to the success that we want. The fourth thing is about setting expectations, and we have to really be able to do that properly, because there's so many of us, we want to do something and we don't understand how it's going to be hard, but recognizing and setting the expectation of, hey, this is going to be difficult. I don't even know what difficult means. That's going to allow us to see the success that we want, because during those times, we're going to be able to say, hey, you know what, this is what's going to happen. And one really cool way to do that is to really look forward at yourself achieving the goal. Because once you look forward and see yourself achieving the goal, you can look back and start to see all the things you have done, all the things that you went through. It's like a championship team when they look back at their season and all the ups and downs and the time they had to be resilient and all the comebacks they might have had throughout the season. If you could start to do that in your own season of your own tests and or your own goals that you're setting for yourself, that can really start to shift so much when it comes to your success. But making sure you have the right expectation is the first part of that. And the fifth and final idea is to understand that we need to celebrate our wins. Yes, those days that are really tough for you and you do something, that is when you have to be able to take the action and really look to appreciate what it is you're doing. It's not going to be easy, and you probably didn't sign up for it because it's not easy. Understanding that we have to be able to take the actions, we have to celebrate the wins that we want to be celebrating. That could be the thing that could start to put the impetus in terms of the success that we want. So ask yourself, what is it that you're doing? How is it that you're going to be able to move forward and take the action that you're looking to take, regardless of how you're feeling? Yes, some days you're just going to be out of it, but look to take some action. Understand that these are the days that you are growing and becoming somebody, and this is why you're going to be able to celebrate so much when you accomplish it, because those are the days that most people can't handle. But guess what? You are able to handle them, and you can do them, and we're going to rock it and be able to do so much more when it comes to the goals that we want. And if you're somebody who keeps getting bogged down by having to take that uncomfortable step to do the things that are really tough, make sure to take a look at this next video where we talk about how it is that you could start to take the action regardless of whether you're comfortable or you're not.